everybody, and welcome back to the I Don't Know Running podcast, where we share our experiences that make running fun and sometimes not so fun. I'm Lewis. I'm a self-admitted lazy ultra runner, and I almost just broke myself there.
And I'm Mitch, and I'm checking the mic.
What does that mean?
I went to this tavern on the night before the race to get a meal, and there's a band there. And that's how he checked his mic. I don't know.
That's it. He just kept saying, checking the mic.
He was singing, maybe I'm not doing it justice. I don't know.
Well, that's what we want to talk about. First of all, how are you feeling? We touched on this a little bit in the last episode. However, we didn't go into detail because we had a lot to cover. So how are you feeling?
Right now?
Yeah.
Not horrible.
Okay.
But Achilles is still an issue. I've run a couple times this week. I ran yesterday and this morning, only 3 miles at a time. I'm trying to really back it off. But it's already more than I've done in the last 6 weeks.
Other than the marathon you ran.
So 6 weeks leading up to the marathon, I think I did a total of 12 miles.
Wow. That's about what I did.
So ask me how that works out for you.
How's that work out for you?
Not good. It can be done, though.
You didn't do a PR? You didn't have a PR run?
Well, I have a PW.
Oh, boy. Wow.
I think it is. I think it is the slowest road race.
That you weren't pacing.
That I wasn't pacing. Oh, yeah. I couldn't.
No. I mean,
I haven't even paced one this slow.
No?
No.
What was it?
5:42.
You haven't paced 5:45?
No.
It's funny because
4:45.
Well, no. I'm thinking of what Brian and I paced once at Kalamazoo. I think it was like 5.5 hours.
Oh my gosh!
It was.
Think about that and putting everything you have into it.
Yeah, that doesn't sound fun.
Or think about running the first half, like kind of running normal, and then going, "Ooh, I don't think I can maintain that."
Oh man!
And then losing
for another 24 miles.
Close. I think I even struggled in that. I think after 7 miles, I think I took a couple walk breaks.
Oh man,
that's not good to start out a race like that. Well, I mean, it can be done. You can finish that way.
And that's what we're going to talk about today. The Vermont, another state checked off. It's not the name of the race. By the way, if you like what you hear today and all of that, go check us out on Facebook. I'm putting this on the front end. Go check us out on Facebook, do all of that, share it. Check us out on YouTube, subscribe, do all of that. Watch us there. If you want to watch, you don't even have to watch us. You can listen to us there as well. And check us out on Patreon.
We are a couple good-looking guys, though.
I think so.
Yeah.
Check us out on Patreon as well. You don't have to do anything except for join the team. You don't have to pay, do any of that. If you choose to do so, great bonus.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's talk.
Entries and lodging.
Yeah, we'll take any donations.
Yep, anything.
You can donate to idon'tknowrunning@gmail.com. And we will take you up on that.
Race entries are easy.
Yeah, race entries are easy. Apparently, although if you take your approach, they're free anyway.
Right. That's true. So
and that's what we're going to talk about today is the Northeast Kingdom Marathon. I want to read this, and then we can dive into it. It says on their webpage, run free because the power of giving is worth chasing. And it says the Northeast Kingdom Marathon is a free. That's not a... what's that when you put letters together? Acronym. It's not an acronym for anything. It is
that was
right?
awesome.
Free USATF, which is a USA track and field certified, self-supported full marathon designed. Hang on, to support Island Pond, a small form railroad. Wait. That's not what right here. It says following the lead of the innovative Millinocket Marathon, runners who participate are asked to be generous and support the Island Pond community and surrounding region in every possible way.
Yeah.
So what was your entry fee?
Nothing.
Nothing.
I could donate. I did. I donated because they pay for timing. So whatever
Oh, yeah.
the businesses around there support this race. And it's a certified course. I think this is
That's nuts,
I don't even
yeah.
think the one in Idaho was certified. And I paid like $100 and some bucks for that one.
Oh, wow.
My favorite race.
Yeah, that's true.
So I don't know if it was a Boston qualifier or not.
I mean, if it is USATF
But it is
certified, I think that's all it needs to be a Boston qualifier.
So it's a certified course. Yeah. And the thing is though, the way it is set up for my entry, I did donate money to start because I wanted to pay for my timing. I don't want to be a bother. And then you can buy a shirt and a medal directly from the local artisans that make the shirts and the medals.
Yeah, and that's cool.
So I did that. So I got on there and I got on the link and I bought a medal and I bought myself a sweatshirt. And they weren't expensive, so it wasn't a big deal.
It's the normal what you would pay to get that anyway.
Right. And I so it's fine. I mean, I joke about free races, but I want to support the people that are putting it on.
So one of the frequently asked questions is this course a Boston qualifier? Yes.
Look at that.
This course is USATF certified and a Boston qualifier.
I was so close at my 540. I was close.
Yeah.
I only needed like an hour and a half or something.
You were close
2
to
hours.
getting that request from
No.
Boston to not come to their race.
I needed 2 hours and 20 minutes, and I would have been a Boston qualifier.
Gosh.
So it was a bad day.
Yeah, well,
It was a beautiful day. It was
I
a
would
good day.
say 12 miles for 6 weeks leading into a marathon is probably never going to be a good day.
I can't believe how much stuff hurt. So my Achilles has been bothering me, but my hip and my right leg have been bothering me a lot. So that almost hurt more as I was going.
Did it feel like back when you ran like one of your first marathons?
No, worse. I've never hurt this bad. I hurt so bad as I was running that my arms hurt, like inside, like by my elbows. Like every time I'd run, my whole body would just hurt. So the last part of it, I tried to run a little bit, but I would
amazing.
walk a lot.
It's amazing what it's running training miles, training in general, more than 12 miles for 6 weeks. That doesn't just build up your legs and cardio. That builds up arm strength. When you run and you run for, let's say, a longer distance than normal, you'll feel your biceps from running like that. Like every single step, you're having to contract
I think
a couple of sets of muscles.
And I think in your 20s, you probably deal with it better, but in your 50s,
Yeah, that's true.
it's not a good time.
Yeah, you feel it.
I'm not a sissy though.
Well, let's talk about the marathon.
Yeah.
We know how you feel about your own
Just my
performance
own-
and all that.
Yeah, that I suck.
But let's talk about the Northeast Kingdom Marathon. Let's just go with overall. How do you like it?
I thought it was great. I thought the website was very informative. It tells you it gives you an address. It tells you where to park. It tells you that they only have a couple water spots, and they're pretty much unmanned. There was pop-up water aid stations
Yeah.
that would have more than just water, but they only provided water. But that was because it's free. So
Yeah.
they're not buying all that stuff.
Yeah, so a couple things come to mind right away. I don't want to forget. So, number one, aid stations. You said they tell you there's only a couple.
Mhm.
What did you do for hydration? Did you carry?
I wore a vest.
You wore a vest,
I wore a vest, and I had my own nutrition in it.
which,
It's not a big deal. It's like
yeah. I already forgot the other thing, but yeah. So, what about the race course itself?
It was 2 loops,
Okay.
and it wasn't closed, but it was out on remote roads. There was no cars out there.
No train tracks or anything you had to
Nothing like
wait
that. There
for.
was
No
nothing.
stoplights.
Nothing I had to stop for. You did like on one of the busy roads. They had cones up, and you had to stay off the road and run on the side
Which is
of the road.
typical.
Yeah, but there was 150 total that finished that race between the half and the full.
Oh, wow. Okay.
There was 100 signed up, and he said that because we met the guy getting our packet. I think he's a race director, and he said, what we have found, this is the 4th year, is that if it's free, there's that many people that sign up that don't show up. So there's 100 people signed up, and you don't get 50. And they beg and plead. They send emails out. If you're not going to be here, because they pay for that timing, they have to pay for that bib. Please let us know so that we, can adjust.
Wow. Yeah, that makes sense.
So that's the downside is people, because it's free, I can sign up for it, and there's
no skin in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is the downside.
Who, do you know who puts on the race? Like, is it a
Local.
private?
Yeah.
Is it, so it's not the town?
No, it's a guy.
Island Pond.
It's a guy that put it together. Making sure it wasn't work. Getting a call right now. I wanted to make sure it was a work call, or like I'm not on call, but
yeah.
So it's just a couple people that put it on, and they went and they talked to Gary Allen is the one that puts it on in Millinocket.
Okay.
He's also the race director for what's the name of that in Maine? So Millinocket is Maine, but Mount Desert Island. So I've run Mount Desert Island. I've met him before.
Oh, okay.
So kind of a crazy old guy, kind of unique guy. So he came down and helped him put this on because he loves that idea.
Yeah, it's funny. This does not come that far after the episode that we talked about all the high cost.
Yeah.
Not high cost. I want to be careful because there was a comment made on the YouTube channel just kind of trying to explain why. And we aren't saying that the costs aren't justified. Like, I want to make that clear. Yeah, a race should be more. Gas prices are more. Everything you do is more. Food is more. Groceries are more. Like, everything is more. We're not saying, we're just trying to say this is the cost of price, or this is the price of a marathon today.
Well, if you do multiples, like you think about that, the cost of this, like say you pay $150 for a race, the amount that you pay for travel is much more than that.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So for us that do multiples, we're trying to keep that cost down as much as possible.
I just think this is such a cool concept.
Yeah. So get there, I get the shirt, the medal, you get it before, you get your medal because you're going to get a medal no matter what then in that case. Excuse me. And then went right across the street and got coffee, got stuff, in the town.
Small town, obviously.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was great. And it's such a beautiful area. Have you been in Vermont?
No, I haven't.
The mountains, and it's starting to change color a little bit right now. It's kind of like here. But if you look at the mountains, you can just get those little specks, like where trees are starting to change.
To turn, yeah.
And there's not a straight road out there. So driving there 2 hours and curvy roads, not great.
Yeah.
You don't go very fast.
Yeah, it's kind of like when we went to Lake Placid. This is going back several years, but same thing. Once you get off the highway, like you spend like whatever, that's a long trip over there. But like if it's a 2 hour drive, like let's say you're 2 hours away, 30 minutes of it is highway. The other hour and a half is back roads and that kind of a thing.
Yeah. So, and it's just a mixture of landscape, like you see really nice places, drive through some really cool little towns. The history there is so much different than here. It seems like we're quick to tear stuff down where we live. There's so much history out there.
Yeah. So small town, obviously there's an island because it's called Island Pond, Vermont.
I think there's a pond in the middle of the island in the middle of the pond.
It's a small island in a pond.
Yeah. I didn't go out.
Did it have that feel then, like small town? Was it just fun?
Yeah,
kind of like what's the Groundhog Day movie?
I got there and picked up my bib, picked up all that stuff, and they gave me maple syrup. Like, who doesn't want Vermont maple syrup?
That's awesome.
So I checked my bag coming home so I could bring home my maple syrup. And they had like a little.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, you couldn't even fly with that.
So they had like a little, not almost like a craft market set up at the same time, so you could walk through, buy any homemade stuff, kind of walk through there and check stuff out. I didn't buy anything. I didn't really need any of that stuff.
And you're flying back, which
and I have a carry-on bag.
Yeah.
So how much can I buy?
Yeah, that's one of those things where when you go and do something. I recently went to Florida for a trip, and I'm the whole time I'm thinking, I don't want to get this because I have to figure out how to get it back. That kind of a thing. So
I know I always pack too much. Like I fill up my carry-on. I'm like, I need to put a lot of stuff because half of it I don't touch.
Yeah.
I always throw, I take 2 bags. I carry a backpack and that carry-on, and then I put a pair of shorts in each just in case.
Oh, yeah.
But I try to have a backup. And then it's like, I don't need that much stuff.
Yeah, if I'm traveling for a race, I almost always wear my race shoes because then I know I have what I'm going to run in.
Oh, I wore a pair of running shoes, and I brought a pair of shoes.
Backed up. Yeah.
So I took too much.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I'll make sure my carry-on has my running stuff. And then if I got to check something, then I'll check it. But so Northeast Kingdom Marathon, free race.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like the course is nice, kind of just in some back roads on a small town.
Yeah, a decent amount of dirt roads.
Okay, so dirt roads.
Yeah, hillier than I expected.
Ah,
I got crap from Laura about that. She's like, I always look at the course. I'm like, this is marathon 178. I never look at the course.
Oh, I always look.
The elevation. I don't know if it would have changed anything. I would have been
well, it might not have changed
because I'm not in shape for this.
Yeah,
so what difference does it make?
It might not have changed, but I still want to know.
I knew it was 2 loops, but I didn't know the elevation change.
True, and it's only a third. That makes it.
Yeah,
that definitely abbreviates. Yeah, the race when you only have to concern yourself with 13.1.
There was an out and back. I don't like the out and back parts because you go down that and you're like, when is this going to turn around?
Yeah. So they had a couple of those.
They had one out and back.
Okay.
Kind of towards the end, and it was like a mile and a half out probably.
Okay.
And then come back, and it goes up. It went up this pretty decent sized hill. So I tried to run up to that. I didn't quite run all the way up to it, and walked up that hill. But the aid stations, they were self-serve, so I just fill up my bottles.
Oh, so the aid stations weren't even, so they were. It's basically fully.
They had water,
but they didn't have cups or nothing to handed out.
The first loop they had people out there, but I was so slow that they got sick of waiting for me, so they just left water out for me. I was not last though.
On the first loop.
No, on the second.
Oh, on the second. Okay. Well, but that's typical.
I didn't get lapped though.
Here's the thing. That is typical. Oh, that's good. So what was the winning time?
It was sub 3, I think.
Was it?
Yeah, not super fast. But.
Okay. The thing is, and some marathons do this really well when you get the right volunteers. Or the volunteers are coached the right way, and we've talked about this, the second half or the second group, the back half are the people that generally speaking you want to help the most. Mm-hmm. And so I just think it's I shouldn't. So I got to be careful how I say that, right? Because the front half, that's equally important to them, right? So it's not like you want to help them the most. But
they don't count as much as me in the back. Let's just be honest.
You had a much longer day.
I got my money's worth. I was out there a lot longer.
You were. So I say that to say that's a bummer that they weren't there. But this is a little bit different race, so I can understand. And a lot of this race seems to be like, yeah, we're going to put on this marathon. It is timed. It is USATF. But you're going to have to support yourself a little bit.
I could see it growing, though.
Concept or that race?
Both.
Okay.
I could see that race doing better, more volunteers, the town coming out, because I walk into the coffee shop and right away, you're here for the race.
Oh, they knew.
They're all excited about it, and They were ready to, like got myself a cup of coffee. I go after the race. I got chocolate milk at the gas station right across the street because there's no post-race food.
I was just going to say, yeah, post-race is nothing.
But there's a gas station right across the street. You can get whatever you want.
So there is almost no fanfare around the thing.
None. No. And you know that because it's on the website. So I go across the street, I buy chocolate milk and some ice cream.
Oh, that's right, because you're supporting the local, because you're supporting the the local businesses.
And then the girl at the counter is like, "How'd you do?" And then they were all excited about it. And it's just like,
Rowdy is just, he's bugging me, and I just don't know what he's doing, dude. So this happens on occasion. He comes in and just disrupts the show.
And he's bored.
Well, I just always concerned he's a boy dog, and I don't want him marking something because Nicole's not here, and so sometimes he just gets a little bit like, "What's going on? I want to check stuff out," but I'm just like, "What are you checking out? And what are you doing?"
We all do that.
Yeah, we all mark stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway,
so I guess I got to add. So on the way there, I got in late Friday night, stayed overnight in Burlington, and then had to drive the next day. So I stopped for breakfast, and I get this skillet, and I'm like, "Oh, I don't want to eat too much." Those pancakes look really good. I don't eat them. The waitress talked me in. It's like, I just want one. No, they only come in two.
Was this race morning?
No, this is the day before.
Okay.
I still have to drive to pick up my bib and stuff.
Yeah.
She talks me into it. All right, I'm going to probably get it to go. I'm just going to have a couple bites. I finished it. I was so full. It was so good.
You carb loaded.
Apparently. So I did that, and then I'm like, all right. I get there, and I go back, and I stayed in this room above a tavern. Really cool. Right above so I didn't have to go
like
anywhere.
an Airbnb, VRBO type thing?
So I stayed up there, and it's like I go down and I get something to eat, and it's like, can't do what I did this morning. I just need, they had, I want a burger. This sandwich looks really good. It's like a Philly steak, whatever. I can get onion rings with it. No, don't get the onion rings. Not going to get the onion rings because I don't want to overeat.
Yeah.
I just had the sandwich. I was good, but I wanted those onion rings. Go to bed, and it was a late race. It didn't start till 9 a.m.
Oh, wow.
Do the race. I am so exhausted. I ran my tank empty.
Yeah. 5.5 hours will do that to you.
I there's tired, sleepy tired, and then there's exhaustion. And I was just done. Exhausted
as when you did Marquette Trail?
The same.
Same? Wow.
Probably not quite as bad.
Yeah.
Because
you were able to move around a little better.
Marquette Trail, I couldn't even drive. I had to make Brian drive. I at least got back. So I'm like, okay, I get to the hotel. I'm going to fly out in the morning. It's like, I'm going to get that burger, and I got to find onion rings. I look up a place. I find another tavern. Ooh, burger and onion rings. I'm hungry. I am starving because I didn't eat that whole time. I just had whatever I had left and a couple goos. I ordered, I had a beer. I got a burger and I got onion rings, and I'm like, ooh, that mac and cheese looks good too. Bring that too. So I eat that, and I'm like trying to get through that burger. Have you ever been so tired you can't chew?
Yeah.
So I'm like thinking to myself, I wonder if they could just grind this up for me.
Do a smoothie.
No, it's just funny because it was so good, but I'm just sitting there. It's one of those things where you're sitting there.
Oh my gosh!
And you're trying to eat it.
Most times when I see people like that, it's because they're drunk or they're drunk off their seat.
It wasn't because of that. And then I'm like, oh, I still got that macaroni and cheese. I don't know. I don't think I should have ordered it. It's not that I'm not hungry. I can't eat it. I'm just tired.
Oh my gosh.
But you'll be happy to know I got it all down.
Nice. You stuck just like the marathon. You stuck.
I still
stuck with it.
I am a trooper.
Took you 2.5 hours to get that done, but
the eating was just as hard as the marathon.
oh my goodness! And that was in the same town right there.
No, that was back in Burlington. So I drove
okay.
because I had to be on the plane at 6 a.m. So it's like
Gotcha.
stayed in another crappy
So
hotel.
you flew in and out of Burlington?
Mm-hmm. About a 2-hour drive from Burlington to Island Pond.
Okay. Oh, okay. So that's a little bit.
Not bad.
Yeah, but that is the biggest, closest airport to fly into.
Yep. So if you do it, fly into Burlington.
It is a cool concept and something that, man, talk about a great way to bring people into your town. And from an adventurer's standpoint, like somebody who just wants to go and check out kind of a cool small town in Vermont.
In Vermont,
That's
it's beautiful.
cool.
And you get maple syrup.
It's another thing. So you didn't even pay for the race and you got maple syrup.
Yeah, because they were a major sponsor for them. So
that's cool.
So they probably helped pay for timing.
Yeah. That is a really neat concept. I love it. And it would be neat, especially like I get it. Like I'm not sitting here saying, oh, Giant Marathon should consider this. I'm not saying that at all. But I am saying it would be neat to if more of those popped up where you could hit a lot of other small town USA type things, especially in places like Vermont where it's just beautiful.
Well, think about the people that are organizing the race and how much time they have invested. They're basically donating their time.
Yeah, and a lot of time.
I don't know that I could do that. Like,
yeah, you hope that there's some benefit for them, and I'm sure there is of some kind.
Because the stress of trying to get everything paid for, you don't want to give a free race and be stuck with $1,000 bill.
Yeah, and it's not for nothing. You know, there is a lot of that, and there's just a lot of pressure of like wanting to put on a good event. It doesn't matter what the event is. You don't want it to just fall flat and be garbage, and
right.
And you actually go to places and do pay for some of those.
I think it could grow a lot. I think it'll be awesome.
So that's the second one that you know of like that?
Yeah. I haven't run the Millinocket one,
okay.
But that one would be fun to do too.
And where is that one? That's also Vermont?
It's in Maine.
Oh, that one's in Maine. So there you go. You hit Maine and Vermont.
But I have Maine. But it's in December. So it's going to be cold.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. I think it's in December. It's late, so it could be snowy.
Wow, yeah. Anything else about the race?
I don't think so.
The packet pickup and all that, very straightforward, very simple.
Right at the race start, you could get it the day before or the day of. I love that. Parking was about almost a mile away, but when we talked to the race director, he's like, first come, first serve. There's parking across the street right there.
Oh, okay. And for 9 a.m., geez.
Yeah. But on a Sunday, what's going on Sunday?
True. Yeah.
But that's my only critique is I wish he moved it up an hour.
To 8. Yeah, because, you do at 5.5 hours, you're eating into the afternoon there.
And here's the other thing. I didn't put any sunblock on.
Oh.
It was overcast, and I have a nice tan right where my shirt was.
You ran during the mid part of the day.
Yeah, but fall, overcast, end of summer,
not as bad. How was the temperature?
It was decent.
Yeah,
but I wasn't running that hard, so
True.
I didn't get overheated.
Yeah, but what was it? 70?
It seems like it. It started out
got up to 70.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I wonder why 9.
I don't know, unless they were truly going for fall. Because I think it is officially fall at whatever time.
Yeah. So that does seem late.
I think 8 would be, I would even say 7, but 8 would be, because Grand Rapids is 8 a.m.
Yeah. Is it that late? Grand Rapids is 8? Wow, seems like it's always early.
Because it's dark.
Yeah.
So you won't have the daylight.
So the Northeast Kingdom Marathon, you'd recommend? Yeah, and it's free. All you have to do is
it hits all the buttons for me.
Sign up, go, support the town a little bit, give them a little donation.
And if you sign up, you need to go.
Yeah, that's true. If you do sign up for that, go. Don't just sign up and not go. Well, cool. Thanks for sharing that. And yeah, like I said at the beginning, go check us out on Facebook and all of that. YouTube, Patreon. And with that, that's going to wrap up this week's episode of the I Don't Know Running podcast. Be sure to tune in next time as we share more about what we just don't know.
Until then, happy free running.